Kim Henkel is probably most well known for his work writing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. But did you know he also co-produced the Wildman of the Navidad? With this information, you might expect a dark, gritty, unsettling movie, but really, all we get is bad acting, bad effects, and a stupid-looking monster. It opens up with a narrator who sounds like he's trying to do his best Sam Elliott impression.
The Wildman of the Navidad was the talk and mystery of Texas.
We learn about a creature known as the Wildman of the Navidad. What's the Navidad? No, it's not a Spanish Christmas song. It's a river near Sublime, Texas. Locals have seen glimpses of him here and there. Dale Rogers started cataloging his sightings of the beast by writing his accounts in a journal. And this is where we're supposed to get the true story of this film, his writings. But I'm not falling for that trap. There's no journals. This is all a work of fiction. But they really try to make you think that this really happened. Next, we see what all the locals do in their spare time in Sublime, Texas. They drink, specifically moonshine. Seems like the whole town's hopped up on it. Everyone here is rude, crude, and would rather run you over than give you a ride. Next, we see a guy doing some welding work. This is Dale, the writer of the journals. Carl swings by to have a drink with the boss, who kind of laughs like Scooby-Doo. Carl says that he's looking for work, and given that he can weld and make moonshine, Dale's boss fires him and hires Carl.
You're fired. I'm giving Carl your job.
With nothing else to do, Dale heads home, where we meet his wife, Jean, who's wheelchair-bound. We also meet what I'm guessing is Dale's brother, or maybe he's just hired help. I don't know. Anyway, his name's Mario. All you need to know about him is that he's a perv. Mario takes Dale out back to show him something disturbing, a broken leash, and a large footprint. They both know what creature this is, and Dale looks worried. Inside, Mario's making dinner, with his shirt off for some reason, and he's cooking with oil that would splatter all over. All the more reason to keep your shirt on. Anyway, while they're eating, the clock rings 9 o'clock. Hey, that's pretty late to be eating dinner, but okay. It turns out 9 is feeding time for the creature, and they throw a rabbit outside for him to eat. Fun fact, you can't live on rabbit alone. It's too lean and doesn't have enough nutrients to sustain you. So if you're ever in a survival situation, eat more than just a rabbit. Dale tells Jean about his misfortune and how he was fired. In order to make money, he has no choice but to rent out some land he has for the locals to hunt, which hasn't been hunted in 30 years. Ordinarily, that would mean lots of big deer to shoot, but in this case, it means a Bigfoot. The first one to hunt on Dale's land is Carl, who makes him a trade, a bunch of bottles of moonshine for a few nights of hunting. It doesn't really seem like a fair deal to me when Dale needs money, so I thought maybe he's doing this on purpose. Carl took his job, so if the monster kills Carl, maybe he'll get his job back. But that doesn't seem to be Dale's intention. Honestly, he looks super nervous to have people hunting on his land. He looks authentically scared for what might happen. So, does he get attacked, mutilated, and ripped to shreds? No, it's nothing like that. It's boring. He sees something, he fires at it, and gets chased away. That night, for the 9 o'clock feeding time, Mario notices that it didn't leave an offering, a sign that it's mad that they let someone on his land.
Dios nos ayude.
Dale heads into town and asks if Carl shot anything, and he instantly knows what happened. But nonetheless, Dale gets more people to hunt on his land. This time a guy named Melvin, and he offers Dale cold hard cash. So how can he refuse? That night, Melvin and his son are setting up camp and goofing around in their tent. Melvin says he's going to go take a crap, and he comes back only to do a cheesy jump scare to his son, which does scare him, but the audience seen it coming from a mile away. Finally, in the middle of the night, the Wildman attacks, taking them both out, and not even sparing the kid. Good, I didn't like him anyway. The next day, the locals are starting to get a little suspicious. Melvin should have been back by now, and others have gone missing too. The sheriff knows, or at least have heard rumors about what's lurking on Dale's land, and he decides to pay him a visit.
How you doing?
While he talks to him, I'm a bit distracted by how dirty the sheriff's glasses are. Clean those things, man. That night, Mario yells at Dale for letting people go out there. But what other choice does he have? Except for, find another job. It's time for the 9 o'clock feeding, but this time, the beast never shows up. Probably still full from eating Melvin. The next day, they accidentally forget to put a rabbit out, and all hell breaks loose. Once everything quiets down a bit, they go to take a look at the damage and find a human foot. So now there's no doubt, this thing is killing people. The next morning, Dale takes down the sign and locks the gate. But there's still one couple out there hunting, and they stumble upon the beast's home. They're quickly attacked, with the girl getting the worst of it, and red Kool-Aid comes out of her mouth. Her husband gets away, and he's picked up on the road. Instead of taking him to a hospital, he wants to go to the bar. Smart move. He tells everyone that the monster was 7 to 8 foot tall. No it wasn't. But this is the straw that breaks the camel's back, and the sheriff agrees to hunt this thing down. That night, the Wildman starts pounding on Dale's door. Just when they think it's safe, it's not, and Mario gets taken out. He had it coming anyway for being a perv, and always taking his shirt off. Dale and Jean manage to hide out in a closet while their house is trashed. No longer contained to Dale's property, and the creature being tired of rabbits, he now only wants human flesh, breaking into random people's houses and attacking them. With antler hands? What? Does he have antler hands, or is he just holding them? From this perspective, it looks like they're his hands. Okay, well, that's a new one. The next day, everyone gathers up, ready to hunt and shoot this thing. They have plenty of men, guns, and ammo, and of course, moonshine. The whole time, and really the entire movie, Dale seems really upset with everything that's happening. Does he really just feel that bad and is starting to take responsibility? Or is it something else? I still don't really know. Before heading out, the sheriff tells Dale that no one blames him, and that they know his dad was killed by the Wildman, but that doesn't really seem to help him all that much. They all head out, and nothing really happens for a really long time, until finally someone's attacked. They all go running. Dale gets a shot and fires, killing the creature. They lift up its hood to see that it has tusks. Another new one for me. Next, they bring it into town and hang it up for the newspaper. We get a little better look at it, and I don't know, this thing just looks stupid. And that was the Wildman of the Navidad. And I'm sorry to say, but I was disappointed. I've seen this movie on the top of Bigfoot film lists for years now, and I guess I just kind of had high hopes. I feel like there's a lot of missed potential here too. Like, why didn't they make Dale the bad guy by purposely letting his enemies hunt on the land? Or, better yet, why not make the Wildman Dale's brother? And that's why he looks so worried and conflicted the entire movie. Instead, we're stuck with a boring plot and terrible acting. Seriously, some of the bar scenes were worse acting than in The Wicker Man.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah! Open my eyes! Eyes!
Melvin and his son is still down there. We don't know who else is in that bottom. We need to get on down to Dale's and see about it.
Well, let's go get that bugger.
Yeah, let's do it.
Looking at the poster, I mean, the Wildman looks kinda interesting. There's those antler hands again, and the tusks look kinda cool. But in the movie, it just looks like a bald dude, and he is not 7 to 8 foot tall. You can tell that they're going for a gritty, almost grindhouse style that you can almost see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre influences here and there. But then you see dead rabbits or a hog, and it just doesn't have the same effect. If you still want to watch the Wildman of the Navidad, go in with low expectations, and you might find some things more enjoyable than I did. But for the most part, it's a pass for me. I give it 1 antler hand out of 4.
Well, we'd be eating Bigfoot steaks by now if you'd hurry up and kill that big hairy monster running around out there at Dale's place.
I got a tube steak for you.
Yeah, it's more like a Vienna sausage to me.